the internship, past the mid of the internship right now. So well done, everyone. So I'm going to let you know what you need to do for this sprint. Actually, is So for in terms of the task, right? So which I think your product owner should have given to you. If not, I think you should reach out to them. But of course, as a stakeholder, I can also give to you what you need to do. But which I expected the BA to have written stories for anyway. So if they have not written stories for this, it's a bit late anyway. So, but they need to kind of do it before tomorrow, sprint plan anyway. So what you need to do tomorrow, from tomorrow in terms of the stories is ability to create, edit, and view your profile. If you are looking for a goal for sprint 3, as in terms of Scrum, what's the goal? This is a goal, right? That's what I want you to achieve. I'm able to create, I'm able to edit, I'm able to view my profile. And if you are also able to kind of put the time slot for every mentor on your mentor skill, that also is brilliant. But that is the goal for the So you create profile and also time loss slot and everything. So that's what you need to do for sprint 3 anyway, which I'm expected the BA to have written that. But if not before tomorrow, let them write it. So like I did in last sprint as well, I will also say again, because I did this in the beginning of the sprint as well. Sprint 4, what you need to do is payment gateways. Okay. Now you've got the project, you've got everything. Now we're going to implement some payment gateway. One of them will be Stripe, and we're also going to do PayPal as well. So that is what we need to do, right? Ability to pay for the time slot for a mentor, right? And also put a payment gateway in there. So that is a focus for sprint 4. So the reason I'm saying that is for the BAs to start creating the story for that particular sprint, right? So that you can, because as you guys know now, BA will be working ahead of you, so that they get the story ready while you are working within the sprint. Okay. All right. So then on sprint 4, right, you will need to create reports and submit a report, right? So, and you will need to do in the first sprint or sprint 4, right, you will need to submit a report, right? And at the end of that, okay, so you would need to present those reports. So, which means that I will give you some tasks now, right, which you have to submit on the 23rd, right, Saturday, 23rd of March, right? So then we would come on Monday, I think that's 25th, right, to review those, right? So then also the second week after 2 weeks, right, we'll still come back and also consolidate on those reports. So if I should repeat that again, right, I'm going to give you some tasks to do, right? And you have to submit them on the 23rd. 23rd, this is like 3 weeks time, right? 23rd, you have to submit them. And this is very, very important. So this is one of those things that we have to tick to say, oh, for you to be able to finish this course and you get your certificate and you can say, okay, you finished, or even for you to come back to us and say, I need reference, you need to have done this, okay? This is very, very important. All these tasks needs to be done and you need to submit them. And you need to submit them by 23rd, okay? So, and they are quite simple ones, but of course you have to do some research on a few one of them as well anyway. But there are quite a lot, okay? So it's better you get them ready as you go along. And this is what I want you to do on those tasks, okay? All right. So allow me, do you want to, should we cut this one off? So that is the tax for the sprint, okay? So before you cut that one off, let me tell you how you're going to do it, okay? So you need to create stories, okay, on your board, right? Create a swim lane on all the teams, okay? You need to create a swim lane, okay? A career swim lane. And then you put everyone's name in there, right? So, and I know that, okay, some people already created a CV. You need to add story for CV and add tags for everyone, right? Have you done your CV? Have you got your CV reviews? And that's another thing. I'm okay for you to create a board, a different board, but I think it will be good for you to just use a swim lane. So you will, yeah, with that approach, you will know how to create a swim lane. So it's going to be like now you are managing 2 different projects within your board, okay? So how to do that is to create another swim lane and then you move them across, okay? So, and when you are working on that particular story, so they will be in dev. You are now the dev, even though it's your career. So yeah. So like for instance, in time of CV right now, if you are working on your CV, you will be in dev. When the CV is done, then you move it to them. So I will expect everyone right in your team to create one. Put them one point, okay? One point for all the CVs for everybody. So once everybody, if you have done your CV, just put it done. Done means you've done it, you've reviewed them. Review means that you put it in test, in Keyway, right? So that means, yeah, you've sent it to myself or to Top CV to get reviewed. Once that is reviewed, that means it's past Keyway done, okay? That is in terms of CV. So, and also in terms of these tags as well. So all these tags, you will create a story per person as well, right? So let's say, for instance, now Olawumi is a Scrum Master in Elite Group, right? And 10 tasks for Olawumi to do, right? I don't want to create all each 10 tasks. We'll create career development or blog, yeah, I would say blog anyway, blog story for Olawumi blog, okay? And then Olawumi will put it in in dev, right? While she's working on those stories, okay? And documenting everything. And when she's done, right, she'll put them in dev done, right? So on the 23rd, right, or no, on the 25th, when we get it reviewed and everything, so it will be in Keyway, right? One is being reviewed and everything, then she can put it to done. The same thing with the keywords and everything. Hope that is clear. Any question on that? I will talk about the tax as we go along, but I need any clarification on this tax so that you know what you need to do. What I've done is I've given you 2 different tax. One is your project tax, okay? Project tax, the goal for sprint 3 is to create, edit, and view your profile. And as well, you can also do time slots as well for the mentors on the project. Sprint 4, you need to do projects, you need to do payment gateways, right? And yeah, that is for the project, okay? Now, coming to your career development, okay? So you need to create a swim lane, okay? For this particular bit, every team you need to create a swim lane. Then on that swim lane, you need to create a story for CV per person, 1 point, okay? And as well, create a story as well for this particular task. I will say creating blog, okay? So because what I'm going to give to you is you creating blog to address this particular task, okay? Creating blog and also put your name. Olawumi creating blog, okay? Or blog post by Olawumi. So then put it in dev when you're working on it. When you finish everything and it's been reviewed, then you put it in dev done. Any question? Okay. Olasumbo Asune, please.
Hi Daisy. For a bit of clarification on the swim lane, are we going to put up the stories individually, or is still going to run like a team project whereby it's our BAs will liaise with to put up the cases for us and we'll work on it as a team, or I will go on my board and I will do it, and every other person will go on their to or create boards from their own Agile profile to create the stories.
Okay, so when you say Azure profile, right, I think that's maybe is a wrong terminology. Okay, you will log in to your board, to your team's board, okay, and you create your own story. I think because Agile is self-dependent, you have to work, yeah, you have to create your story by yourself, okay? So yeah, so of course, if you don't know what to do, right, the BS can help you. but it would be good that you know how to create those stories. Do you get? So you create your story for your CV, you create your story for your creating blogs, or for your blog site. Do you get it now? So those are the two stories I want you to create. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Juliet?
Hello, good evening, Deji. Yeah, so please a bit of clarification on the stories. So the CV and the blog. So are you wanting them as epics, like, and then we'll have an epic for the team, and then under that, every team member would have their feature, or I think maybe I'm just trying to get a structure in my head, or we all just go and create PBIs and not link them to any overarching topic. I don't know if my question is making sense.
Yeah, it's a good question, to be honest. It's really, really a good question, I would say.
Okay.
So yeah, one thing I can say is, of course, you need an epic, right? And you need a feature also. That's the best way to do it anyway. For every story, this applies to even the BS now. Do not create any story that is an orphan, right? Technically. So if you create a story that hasn't got a feature and it's not linked to an epic, you are creating an orphan. So you don't want that. So every story, I think, Scrum Master should be looking into that as well, that every story that you guys have got, has it got any parent or grandparents? Parent of a story is a feature, and also you have the epic as the grandparent. You need that. It's very, very important. Even though if I don't say so, you need to look into that. But even though I have a way that you can do that, but let me leave it open, but I can give some suggestions, right? Suggestion could be that, like you rightly mentioned, you could just create it as a feature for the blogs, okay? Then everyone will have their story under that feature, right? Then under that, you will now create, maybe career development as the epic or something like that. Or you can actually make it as a blog, okay? And so this is a blog epic, do you get it now? Or documentation epic, do you get it now? And you now put under the feature, you put the blog, this particular blog, because there might be other blogs or other documentation that I will ask you to do, right? So in essence, the epic becomes the documentation becomes the epic, right? And then your feature is now these blogs, okay? Then every story, okay, that each one I've written about the blog, okay, would be under that particular feature that you call the blog. The same thing applies to the CV as well. Do you get it now? So yeah, so that's what I would say. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Juliet?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Thank you so much. I think that was wonderful question. Saeed, please.
Good evening, Dave. Please, a quick question. The CV, do we need to upload it in the Azure board, or we need to send it directly to you?
Okay. That's a good one as well. Anyway, so yeah, because CV is so what's it called? It should be private to you, right? I don't need your CV uploaded. Do you get now? You don't want to expose your CV to everybody for them to copy, right? So that's why when I do review CV, I don't show people CV. So what I just want is the visibility that you've done it. Do you get it now? You don't need to upload it. Do you get it now? You just need to say, oh, I've created, CV story created. And once you say done, it means that you've got your CV created and you got it reviewed, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Also, the second question, please. When is the deadline for the submission of the CV, please? Because I'm still working on mine.
So the CV, I would say before end of this sprint, you need to do that CV, right? It has to be completed, right, before end of the sprint. You got 2 weeks to finish that. So finish means that you got it reviewed, right, as well. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, all right, thank you. So I think we got that out of the way now. So I'm going to talk about the task now. So allow me, if you want to stop this.